Hello friends, welcome back to CCSP certified channel. Today I am going to cover SDLC software development lifecycle, another important topic for CCSP and CISSP both, also good to know for the software developers. So it is part of domain 3 of CCSP exam, and before I start I quickly cover the topics I have covered because this is a topic 6 going on. If you are new to my channel, I would like to inform that I have already delivered 5 topics. One was encryption, use of encryption and how to secure cloud using encryption. Second was identity access management. Third was the cloud characteristics. Four was risk in the cloud. The last one was international laws and standard. So this way I have covered already 80% syllabus from 5 topics. Topic 6 is the last topics which I am covering remaining concepts. So it is a lecture 8. So over 90% of the exam syllabus is already covered so far in this video series. And why I started this video series, my focus in this video series. So around 1.5 years before I started, and my mission is to help you get further faster in your CCSP exam certification. When I started, there was no free and up to date courses available in the YouTube. So I thought let's start it. My focus is to cover high probability exam topics because whole syllabus is not possible to cover. Every topic is not possible to cover in this video series. Also difficult exam concept because soundness of concept is very important to clear any of the SC score exam, especially CCSP. Also the question along with theory I cover the questions also, and one of the important source of my questions are my candidate feedback, as I do conduct classroom teachings also, and the official question bank I refer, and some sample question banks also. So theory plus questions is the combination I prefer to teach, and you can see in my videos the same pattern. Also, my vast IT knowledge of 15 years, CCSP, CISSP, and other cloud certification learnings, I will make things easy and simple for you. Many candidates ask me, do they need a proper classes? I say no. The YouTube study is free and sufficient, but in case you need more help, like you need a personal tutor, you have more doubts, you need someone who can help you to solve your doubts or explain some of the concept in the more depth, then definitely you can reach me. I do conduct classroom teachings also, or also I sell the self-paced training program also, where you can see my all the classroom recordings, private YouTube channel you can access. Along with this, I will cover some 4 to 5 doubt classes and the customized question bank also I share. So all of this you can get in very nominal fees. You can write me at the ccsp-certified at gmail.com or WhatsApp me on this number. There is no calling on this number. WhatsApp me on this number in case you are interested for the any of the either classroom teaching or the self-paced training program. So we jump to the topic, which is software development lifecycle. Very important for at least for CCSP and CISSP. You can expect at least one question from this one. And also, if you are a software developer, you are good to know that you know what is the software development lifecycle. So SDLC is stand for a structural process that is used to design, develop, and test a good quality software. And why it is required the mature software development utilize an SDLC process because it saves money and support repeatable quality and the software development process. And there are many model evolved over the time. Very first elementary was waterfall, which we'll cover in the next slide. Then spiral, iterative, agile, big bang. Not all we'll cover most important one for exam in this PPT. Also, we'll see the what is the actual, whether it is a waterfall, a spiral, iterative, agile. It is a set of the steps which is common to everyone. So whether you follow any other model, but there are this 5 to 6 steps, and exam to ask these steps also. So very first step is always the planning or the requirement gathering step. We call that define also. So one shortcut is triple D: define, design, develop, and the test. So define is the one which defines the business requirements and the security requirements. Also, security should be at very first step. You should define what is your security requirement of the product, and they should be covered as per the planning phase itself. Then there should be design, where you design the solution, prototype you developed, and the threat modeling, which we'll cover in the next lecture, which is also very important for CCSP exam. And threat modeling, which is can be done prior development can be done post development. But prior development, threat modeling is always good. We'll see why. But threat modeling and secure design is part of the design phase. Development where we do the code development, code reviews, unit testing, and the SAST. So we have already covered the testing like SAST, DAST, IAST. If you are not aware, go back to my videos where I have covered. But quickly, SAST stands for static code analysis, where code is being analyzed on based on the logic written on the code rather than running it. So it is developer who do a unit testing, and the code reviews happen as a SST based testing. Then the vulnerability assessment, DAST, dynamic testing, part of the testing phase. In this, there is a deployment also. So after developed, there's a deployment happen in the testing environment, which is staging environment or the production environment, and then only test happen. So this step is not mentioned here, which is explicit in this one. Sorry, implicit in this one. So after define design development, there's a deployment. Post this, there will be testing, and once the software is tried and tested, it goes to the operation, secure operation and maintenance, where the operation teams maintain it by adding the different patches or doing some house cleaning jobs. So they maintain the software in up and running state, and in the end is a disposal phase we discard the application. So this is the normally SDLC phase, where we start with the define, design, develop, test, secure operation and disposal. Also, new concept evolving now, the SSDLC, the Secure Software Development Lifecycle, and DevSecOps is a very good example of the SSDLC. So what is SSDLC? So initially when this model started, the more focus was to develop the features. There was less focus on the security, but adding a security at the later stage increase the cost. Now also there is a risk to exposing the sensitive customer data or the business to the attackers. So benefit of SSDLC, the secure software development, is to get more secure against attack, reducing the expose of the sensitive data, and adding security later post code is developed is increased cost much higher than the adding the security at the very first stage. So always security should be started and should be added at the design phase rather than adding at the after testing or the secure operation phase. So this is a typical SDLC flow. Good to know these steps. For exam perspectives, we'll cover others concept quickly. Which three important model will cover: waterfall, agile, and DevOps. Very important for exam perspectives. Legacy model waterfall, where we define the whole development process in once, and we do the whole development, then only the test. So this go in the steps by steps. So the way waterfalls. And there was a agile which is evolved over the time, where which use continuous intricacies of development and testing. We'll see the agile methodology also in the below diagram, where we divide the whole task into small sprints by small task, and they are being delivered in, let's say, a couple of weeks sprint we run. In that sprint we deliver those small area of the task, we test it, then again we do the coding next feature, we test it. So SDLC, we design it, then we code until the code complete, we don't test it. Then testing, to do the testing. If there is no bug, they deploy. If they bug, they again they go back, ask for to do the changes, again the code development happen. And this is very time consuming, a lengthy process, and sometimes requirement get changed, or sometimes the bugs identified very less step, which is very difficult to accommodate, and rework happens. In Agile, we design it, we divide into small parts, we do a coding, small code, small feature, test it, again code a second feature, test it, code third feature, test it. But we don't do deployment, and the deployment happen is very last stage. And there are some chances that in Agile also, when we do the final deployment, this unit tested modules may not work when they are integrated together, and that may create issues when it's deployed. Here the DevOps comes, which is a very good or the evolving methods which help to communicate, integrate, and collaborate between development and operation team to enable deployment code to the production faster in automated way. Here post design, the code development happen, testing also happen automatic way, and the deployment also happen on the same. The new feature released, if it is not breaking something, It means test and deploy quickly on the productions. Again, second feature, tested deployment. Third feature, so in this agile we are not deploying it, but in DevOps we are deploying along with the testing and coding also. And one more concept, CICD, very important for exam perspective. Good to know this. CI stands for continuous integration. CD stands for continuous delivery or deployment, and it is part of the DevOps domain. So there are three important actors: developers, operations, and the testing team, which is quality team. We call them. So developer job is to ensure that the faster development, new features are released quickly to the production environment, where the operation team ensure that the environment is stable, the new codes are not breaking something. They want the stability. Developer team wants more development, frequent changes. Ops teams need more frequent environment, less frequent changes, a stable environment. And the coordination between development and operation team can be done with the help of the CI/CD or the DevOps tools, where the development and the operation can be done in automated way and faster way with the help of the team which is doing a testing in between, or quality assurance team. So development team doing the development, uh, quality team testing the code quickly and moving the code to the productions, and this way the whole CI/CD works. So CI/CD is continuous integration, where the developer develop the code, build it, and test. A unit testing is done, then move this code to a repo like GitHub, then acceptance testing and the deployment to the staging happens automatically. Post the testing happens, then the production, if it is happen manually, is known as continuous delivery. If this happens automatically, it is known as continuous deployments. So this way the CI/CD works, and it is part of the DevOps, very important. And this much information is enough to clear the CISSP exam questions and CCSP exam questions. We'll see a few questions now. So question 1, what SDLC model is most frequently associated with the cloud development process? So what actually we have seen that waterfall was a legacy model. Spiral, RAID, iteratives are the one which is not frequently used in the cloud. Agile is the one which is frequently used. Small changes, do the development test, and that is very famous in the cloud deployment. CICD is part of which SDLC framework. It is exam question seen by many candidates. Just we covered, it is part of the DevOps domain. DevOps CI/CD helping DevOps to be achieve that their goal. It provides a coordination between the development and the operation teams. At which phase of the software development SDLC is user involvement is most crucial? So user involvement definitely happen in the testing phase also, or the secure operations phase also. Some of the development phase also inputs are given, but which phase the user inputs are most important is the define. So when you define the requirement, user requirement, their inputs are most important, because properly they define the requirement, the code or the software are developed accordingly. So the define phase is very important, where the user or the stakeholders involvement is very important. What drawback in the waterfall is addressed in the agile methodology? So agile, we have seen that, which is reducing the whole development process to the small sprint, and the small features are developed and tested. And what drawbacks it address? So I'm not reading all four options, but my suggestion is to read it, because first one is associated with the cost, because nothing with the cost it is associated. Some associated with the risk. Third one, which is correct here, agile developed address the inefficacy of the waterfall as it pertains the changing requirement. So if there is a change in the requirement, there is no possibility in the waterfall that it will be change, because it follow the same path which is defined. And in many cases still waterfall is being used, where the strict requirement to follow the path rather than changing it. In those cases we still waterfall use, but industry mainly use agile. Last one, Henry wants to design his SDLC to help the prevent the most common application security issues, where in the SDLC should be he insert control to ensure this application architecture is secure. So it is again the question being asked different way, in which phase security should be introduced. We have already seen that security should be introduced in very first, which is the design phase. So later phase we introduce and create more issues. Thank you. That's for today. Hope you have liked my videos. Thank you. Like my channel, subscribe my channel.